Madz. Madz, what's up, dude? How's it going, man?
Yeah, all good, all good. What are you doing here? Why are you connect? Why are you calling me
I do. I was
this
just like
this
trying to.
late? This late? It's like 3 a.m. in the morning. You should be,
I know.
in bed.
I know. It's like early for you though. It's like morning time. You're about to get
Yeah.
your day started. So I figured, hey, let's try and get Madz when he's at his most available, and I'll suffer for it, right? Now, I kind of told you a little bit about what we're doing. Okay. So
Yes, you did.
to start off, I have 3 questions for you. And thank you also for doing this. I appreciate it.
No problem at all.
Everybody knows that Madz Gaming knows everything. He's a tech expert. And we'll see if his expertise with some things will transfer into getting these answers correctly. All right. So first question, Madz. Will Phil have shelves at E3?
I would love to, because usually when he does, that means something, right?
Yeah.
And it's been so much fun, reading articles about
Yeah.
what's behind Phil Spencer back, right? And so I would love to, but I kind of feel that what we're going to get is we're going to be more professional kind of show where
Yeah.
I think they did that last year or maybe the previous years where they probably going to rent a studio or something and they will do it like more professionally. That's what I think. But yeah, I mean these shelves in Phil's house or something, it would be cool because we would probably learn more about like some of the games or some deals they've got with publishers and stuff. So that would be
Yeah.
cool to have, but I don't think we're going to get it.
Okay, so it would be cool, but no. All right, I
Yeah.
agree. We'll see. All right, now, Mads, will we get a Starfield release date?
All right. Well, Jason Schreier says we will. So I will say probably we will, but I don't think we're going to get like a proper date. We probably, if
Right.
anything, we're probably going to get when about we're going to get it. So if
Right.
anything, we might hear, oh, Starfield coming summer 2022 or late 2022 or spring of 2022. And if you ask me, I would love to get Starfield earlier than later, right? So spring of 2022 would do my day. That's what I say. But
Okay.
I don't think we're going to get like a proper date because what you've noticed recently is that, especially with Xbox, like there's a number of games that
Mm-hmm.
we kind of know are coming this year, like Psychonauts 2, Crossfire Rex,
Yeah.
Stalker 2, The Ascent. I mean, The Ascent, that game release date got announced just a couple of days ago,
Yep.
but we don't know the dates, the proper dates for these games, because I think that development cycles got so kind of, difficult these days that these developers they're not really keen on sharing when exactly they're going to release it because it's difficult to plan. So we will know when about we're going to get Starfield, but we're not going to get a proper date.
Right. Hey, you know what? That makes a lot of practical sense. It's crushing my dreams a little bit because if we get a date, it means it's coming sooner than later. But hey, maybe it's 2022 and we get a window, like you're saying, and that's good enough for me as well. All right.
Can I comment last thing on
Yeah.
Starfield because it's a bit confusing because it's kind of interesting because there's still a lot of people out there in the field of gaming journalism, I would say,
Yeah.
that they still kind of doubt that Starfield is late 2022 title. And there is a couple of people made good points that usually Bethesda or Todd Howard doesn't speak about their games and don't show gameplay unless the game is rather closer to release.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, showing Starfield gameplay at this year's E3, like in 2 or 3
Yep.
weeks, and then releasing this game in late 2022
Wouldn't make sense.
doesn't really go well with what Bethesda and Todd Howard actually did in the past. I mean, just my thoughts on it.
Yeah,
So
I agree with you. There's still a chance. Yeah,
I still hope for spring of 2022 for that game.
yeah. I'm with you, Mads. There's I think here's my actual thoughts. Okay, they may have wanted to release 2021. It's not going to happen, and their plan would be now to have like a smaller trailer, just like another trailer to kind of give more of a feel of what the game is without showing off too much, and then at the Game Awards potentially or something have like an actual gameplay demo on stage by Todd Howard, and then release it in like April or March, right? Because Todd Howard, like you said, he wants as little time between release and gameplay as possible. But hey, I'm still holding out that 2021 hope. It's still there in my heart. Now I got one more question for you, Mads.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. None is not an answer. Okay.
Okay.
You cannot say none. Okay.
You take no. You don't take no.
And also, okay, people have been trying to cheat the system here. 0 is also not an answer. Okay.
All right.
Which publisher will Xbox announce they have acquired at E3?
All right. Okay. So you kind of destroyed my, kind of thing that I'm going to be talking about later. But hey, I'll tell you. Well, I think that's going to be Namco.
Namco.
And sorry, not Namco, Capcom.
Oh, Capcom. Okay.
Yeah, Capcom. And this is not really about. It's more about how I feel, what I would like them to see, what I would like to see, what I would like them, who they, what kind of company I would like them to purchase, because there's quite a lot of acquisition rumors and that kind of stuff. Some people say, Sega, other people say other companies and stuff, right? But me personally, I would love to see them buying Capcom, because Capcom has, there's actually, there's also Square, but I don't think that's going to happen. They are too close with PlayStation, that kind of stuff. They're good there. But like Capcom, they've got Resident Evil, they've got Monster Hunter, and I think there are more they are pretty close with Microsoft, like close enough because they did number of deals in the past.
Dead Rising.
I think that's. Yeah, exactly. So
Lost
they
Planet,
had a number of deals with Capcom in the past that I think they've got quite good relationship with Capcom, Microsoft, right? And if Bethesda acquisition taught us anything, is that in order to buy publishers, that kind of big publishers, it's very important that you've got this good relationship. And that was the case with Bethesda when they sat down for this roundtable kind of show back in March, I think. They were talking about how far back all their early relationships went, like back to original Xbox, and they were doing those deals and exclusives. So I think Capcom would make sense. Not obviously from these kind of publishing deals in the past perspective, but also I would love to see these games. Well, not necessarily. It's not about like, oh, let's make that exclusive. But if they were to spend some big money on big publishers, I would love Capcom to be one of them.
Oh heck yeah, and they got a lot of great franchises, right? Classics. So that would be amazing. Capcom, hey, make it happen. Let's get all Capcom games for all time. Day one on Game Pass. That would be.
Capcom even did some exclusive games for them in the past, like even RPGs. I remember, right? Some of these. So back in Xbox 360 days. So
Lost Planet was Capcom, right? That was where Xbox 360 games. Okay, Mads. Now those were my questions for you. Okay, and you did a great job. Now. You crushed my heart a little bit with Starfield. It's okay. Capcom coming on board. We like that. Phil will not have shells. That's okay. Now, these next 3 things are coming straight from your imagination, from your heart, from your brain. Now you have the power potentially to will these into existence by mentioning it. So we'll see what happens here and what Madz has on the brain for what he thinks is going to happen at E3 from Xbox. So let's get Xbox E3 prediction number 1 from Madz.
Okay. So just as we spoke before the show, I'll group these kind of games basically, right? So the first is going to be the games that we kind of know we're going to get, right? And we know that we're going to get Halo Infinite, Forza Horizon 5. That's pretty much
a given at this
confirmed.
point.
Yeah, and Starfield. So I can't wait to see all of them because Halo Infinite, last year's gameplay. I mean, gameplay was great. The game was just not really looking that great.
The engine wasn't complete yet.
Exactly. So I'm really curious to see, where are they with that right now. Forza Horizon, I love Forza games overall, both Motorsport and Horizon. So another one would be great. I love playing these games sometimes when I listen to podcasts and stuff. So it's a great game to play.
I've actually seen you play Forza Horizon as like one of your top playing games when you're actually talking on your shows. So
I just like racing games, and Forza games are happen to be very good as well. And obviously Starfield, like RPGs, this is new IP from Todd Howard, and some people say that we should expect Fallout in space, but that's what I actually want this to be to be a little bit, at least, because I'm more of a Fallout than Skyrim guy, right? I'm not really into
you like the base building.
Not really, but I like exploration. I like FPS kind of games a little bit as well, a little bit with the RPG elements here and there. Base building is not really my thing, to be honest with you. But that was really the thing only in Fallout 4, to be honest with you. That wasn't really the case in previous games. Space exploration with a little bit of story here and there. I can't wait.
Heck yeah, man. Dude, if Xbox just had that, which we already pretty much know, they're going to have those 3 games. It's going to be a fun show, regardless of anything else. That's the great thing, right?
Exactly. And I hear people on Twitter saying that, temper your expectations. I'm like, what? I mean, what are you talking about? Like, these 3 games alone going to make for a very good show. Exactly. And on top of that, there's other games that we already know about already, that we know that are going to be there. On top of that, some other surprises which we'll talk about in a minute as well. So I mean, this Xbox E3 show is going to be good for sure.
Yeah, man, it shows that a different place that Xbox is in compared to where they were a few years back, right?
Very excited.
Hey, Madz, I love where you're going with this. The first one, you're just like giving us the facts of, hey, this is what you need to expect, right? Now, what do you got in store for us for Xbox E3 prediction number 2?
Okay, so these are games that we should see, and that's coming from all kinds of insiders. And this is like not my insiders. I don't have any inside knowledge, but like just listening to people on different podcasts and that kind of stuff, right? So I think we're going to get at least these 3 games and these are not necessarily new IPs, but new games that haven't been announced yet. So I think we should get Wolfenstein 3. So I really like these games. To be honest with you, if we're talking about like Bethesda shooters, I prefer Wolfenstein games than Doom. And I know that, some people will not be happy with me, but I mean, that's why I can't wait for another Wolfenstein game, especially that the last one was like 2 years ago. And that was only more of a DLC kind of game, really. But I can't wait for another one. So the last one, the proper one, was released in 2017, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so.
Or 2016. It's been a while. Yeah, so it's been a while. So I would imagine that they've been working on another Wolfenstein game, and I hope they will announce it at this year's E3 and release the game probably next year, right? Especially sense. That they will probably be moving on to this Indiana Jones game. apparently.
And
So
Bethesda
that's
usually has a
first.
surprise or two in store at these
Yeah,
shows.
exactly. So that's the first game. The second game, hopefully, from what I'm hearing, we should get the Omen, and I'm not sure if it's just a project name or a
Hmm.
proper name of the game. So this is this new vampire game by Arcane, so another Bethesda game. So I mean, Arcane is known for very unique kind of games. To be honest with you, look at Deathloop or what's the Prey or these
Prey,
kind of
yeah,
games, right?
Dishonored, yep.
So that might be very interesting as well. Although, and to be honest with you, I don't really remember like a very good vampire game recently. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
to be honest
Those are
with
like
you,
that
well, we
Masquerade Bloodlines that people play.
yeah, but were they really that good? I
I don't know. I
mean,
haven't played it.
yeah, exactly. So
Exactly. Right.
yeah, exactly. So, and the last kind of prediction, which we should get, hopefully, is the new global publishing game. So, going by what Jez Gordon and a couple of Windows Central, a couple of
Oh,
other
you mean the
people are
Typhoon
saying,
game, right?
yeah, so that's one of these games, right? I mean, global publishing is this kind of publishing, Xbox publishing arm, which makes third-party deals with third-party developers, right? And apparently they've got like 4 or 5 games in the works. And this Typhoon game apparently might get shown at this year's E3. It doesn't necessarily mean that this game is coming anytime soon,
Right. It'd be like
but
an
I
early
think
reveal.
I think they want to show. It might be one of the first games to be released. From the global publishing deals, right? So maybe it's like 2 years from now in terms of release date stuff. So they might actually show it, right? So yeah, these are my 3 what we should get kind of predictions for E3.
Hey, I love that. Again, you're saying we should get those. If you add that on top of what you already said in the first grouping, wow. E3 is going to be pretty amazing for Xbox. Now, um, I know that you said I kind of spoiled this for you, but we'll see what you can come up with for your third Xbox E3 prediction, Mads. Let's see. This is also your last chance. This is your last prediction, so you can shoot for the moon. You can play it safe. Whatever you want. We'll see what you got, man.
Yeah. Okay. So my third thing for E3 is what I would like to see. Right.
Yep.
We probably not going to see it, but what I would like to see. And so obviously the first one was the Capcom acquisition. So we spoke about it a little bit before. So that would be nice thing to get. And whether we're going to get it or not, we don't know. I mean, we know that Microsoft is yeah, fingers crossed. Microsoft is has been pretty adamant about the fact that they are still looking for publishers.
Yeah.
And even Satya Nadella, the top man
Yep.
at Microsoft, has been on records basically saying that. I think for them, it's more important to get publishers because if you look at their portfolio and how they go about things right now, is that Microsoft wants to be very like hands off
Yeah.
with those studios, which is great, right? But still, Microsoft in terms of like the game studios they acquired before Bethesda, I think they still have to be managed a little bit more, right?
Yeah.
But with Bethesda, looks like they're going to be their own separate identity, right? Still
Right.
working for Xbox and stuff, but they don't want to get involved too much, right? Do what you
Yep.
want. You've got all your managers there, right? Just report what we are working on and that kind of stuff, right? So I think that their next idea is to kind of buy another publisher which has got that in place as well, where they won't have to do like micromanage them that
Yep.
much, right? As well, just
Makes sense.
like with Bethesda, you've got the publishing arm, you've got you know how to manage all these studios and that kind of stuff. You've got this working relationships between those studios as well, and so I think they want to have that as well. So hey, Microsoft buying Capcom, that would be a cool thing to see.
Heck yeah.
And I've got two more predictions, which I would,
I love it, man.
of things that I would love to see.
Okay.
And I know we will see them sooner or later, but probably not at this year's E3. So I would love to see Hellblade 2 gameplay.
Okay.
For a number of reasons. But I really enjoyed the first game. It's a very unique game made by just 15 people apparently. And look at how this game looked like. And that was a multi-platform game as well, because they released it on a number of platforms, right? I think it's even on Switch. And I played it on Switch
really?
for
I
a
didn't
little
even know
bit.
that. Wow.
Yeah, it's on Switch. It looks pretty dope, right? I mean, obviously the textures and the resolution is not as high as on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but it still works, right? So I would love to see Hellblade 2 because we've seen that first trailer from 2019, I think, which looked dope. Apparently, that's in engine. That game is going to be. They will be transitioning to Unreal Engine 5. So you've seen the demo yesterday. It looks great. So really looking forward to that game. And the third game I would love to see is KOTOR 1 and 2 remake.
Yes.
So we spoke about it a little bit, obviously, before the show. And I mean, I really enjoyed these games on Xbox, original Xbox back then. Obviously, right now, this game doesn't really look good.
Yeah, they need a lot of work to be updated.
Yeah, the gameplay mechanics are probably updated big time and stuff. There's been some rumors about KOTOR remake for a while now. That hasn't been officially confirmed. So I mean, why not? I mean, maybe they could make a deal and and buy publishing rights or something and show it at Microsoft stage. If this remake is anywhere near ready, right? So these are my three predictions, and I would really love to see those games on Microsoft stage.
Heck yeah, man, dude. KOTOR. It seems like it's like more possible for something like that to happen now than ever before with what they've been doing with Star Wars, sending him out to different studios and all that kind of stuff, man. So hey, it could happen, bro.
Hey, listen, I can add that actually there's I'm not sure if it's been officially confirmed. I think it's more like rumors, but there is this company that is known for making all kinds of remakes.
Yeah.
They are a small company, but apparently they are working already on KOTOR remake. But nobody really knows any details, whether they will make a lazy just port of these to the next gen console stuff. I mean, that would really work well. So I just hope that they will do a proper remake with changing the graphics and obviously the gameplay mechanics and that kind of stuff. So that game is in development. The question is, how good is that going to be and how deep they will go into the actual old game code to change it and to make it like more up to date, if you know what I mean, right?
Right. Dude, Madz, these were all amazing. I like all your predictions. I like all your things that you want. I think if all these things happen, it would make me so freaking happy, dude. And
hey, man, if half of it is going to happen, we're going to have a fantastic E3,
dude. And thank you again for doing this. I super appreciate it. And
no problem. Thanks for the invite. Really, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I hope to see you again soon sometime. And hey, everybody, let's see who else we got here.